A little panic has started to set in for some West Virginia Mountaineer football fans as they are fearful that they are in for another rough season in 2026. Will Rich Rod have to go through another almost full-blown rebuild in 2026? I have dug into the roster, and I'm going to give you my thoughts on what we can expect next year. So stick around, and let's talk about it. What is up, and welcome into this episode of Couz's Corner, your home for top-shelf college sports news and analysis around the West Virginia Mountaineers and the Big 12. 80-plus new players, brand new coaching staff, 2 blowout losses to start Big 12 play. That's what the West Virginia Mountaineers are dealing with right now. Not to mention a loss to a MAC school in their stadium. That's what the Mountaineers are dealing with, and it has fans asking the question, how long is this going to take? Now, Rich Rod came in, he said, I'm trying to win now. He proved that by going out and getting a really, really large group of seniors and a lot of even redshirt seniors out of the transfer portal. And it has West Virginia fans asking the question, with all of these seniors that are going to be leaving after this year, does this mean we're in for another rebuild year in 2026? And I even have made comments about that here on my show and on social media and other places. So I decided to take the time to dig into the roster myself and just see exactly how many players West Virginia will need to replace next year for the 2026 season, and if next year is going to look as bad. So let's go ahead and dive in, and let's go over some content here, some numbers here. West Virginia right now on their roster has 124 total players. At least that's what I counted. At least that's according to the West Virginia Sports website. Next year, though, they will likely have to go down to that 105-man roster limit. At least that's my understanding. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. But right now on the roster, and by the way, that matters in this discussion, but on the roster right now, I see 30 redshirt seniors, 11 regular seniors, which is 41 players who likely will not be able to return for 2026. So you got 41 seniors. That would leave you 83 players remaining on the roster after the seniors leave. That means you would only be able to add, 22? Well, they have commitments now from 26 incoming freshmen for the 2026 class. That would put you above the 105-man limit, which tells you what? There will be other players that are not seniors leave this football program, whether they transfer out on their own or whether Coach Rod and the staff decide it's best for them to move on without them. We'll probably see some of both, just like we did this year. How many? Yet to be determined. But Rich Rod has made it clear he wants to build this team, long-term at least, with high school players. And when you look at the fact that there's 41 seniors on this team, you scratch your head and go, how in the world is that even possible? Because you're going to have to go and probably get at least 30, 40 more out of the portal next year, if not more. Well, guess what, folks? 30 to 40 is nowhere close to 60 that they had to get this year. It's a lot better than 60 or 70, whatever the final number ended up being. It should not be at least near that many next year. Unless we see a huge exodus in the portal that we don't expect, I don't see them having to get this many new players next year. That's why retention is going to be absolutely critical to this staff in the offseason. You have got to keep your core players on this football team, especially those who have contributed this year, which we're going to talk about. I have written down 30 names of players who have played this season that are underclassmen. 17 on offense, 13 on defense. Obviously, they have all played various numbers of snaps, right? First one is the obvious one, Jaheim White. You've got to do everything you can to try to keep Jaheim White on this roster. Second one, you got to try to keep Cam Vaughn. Those two guys right there, in my opinion, along with a quarterback, are two guys you have got to try to keep on this football team. Pay them as much as you can possibly pay them. What's going to happen with Nico? My gut feeling tells me Nico's likely going to transfer out of the program. I don't have any proof of that. So, I'm not exactly sure what's going to happen there, but I do kind of expect that to happen. Just my gut feeling. You've got Khalil Wilkins, obviously. I think you try to keep him. Again, we will likely see more of Khalil Wilkins as we go through the season. There are still 7 games left. Plenty of time for him to show what he can do. If he continues to build on what happened in the Utah game, I think you try to keep him around. Maybe even, maybe he's even your guy going into next season. Obviously, you've got Scotty Fox as well, who may have a say in that. You've got Dior Hubbard, the redshirt freshman running back, who showed some flashes against Utah. Sincere Bowers, the speedy running back who suffered a concussion, was out in the Utah game. He showed you a little bit so far. Not as much as you'd like. But again, behind the offensive line that's been struggling, it's kind of unfair to judge some of these guys. Rodney Gallagher, obviously. Clay Ash. Tyler Jacklich has played a few snaps at running back. Nick Cray, redshirt sophomore at left tackle, has showed you some things. Donovan Haslam played a few snaps in this game against Utah. He's a redshirt junior. Josh Isosa, the redshirt freshman transfer on the offensive line, showed you some good things against Utah. Malik Ogbo, a redshirt junior O-lineman that you can rely on next year potentially. He also played against Utah. Landon Livingston, redshirt junior center. He could be back. And then the 2 final players on the offensive side that I noted, Ryan Ward, the redshirt freshman tight end, who's seen quite a few snaps this year out of North Carolina and has showed you some good things. And then Xavier Bosley, the redshirt junior right tackle that has been injured for most of the year, but has played in Rich Rod's system at Jacksonville State. He might be a guy you can rely on next year on that offensive line as well. So you've got some pieces to build on right there with Bosley. Look at the guys up front: Bosley, Livingston, Ogbo, Isosa, Haslam, and Cray. That's something you can build on. And then you've got some good Camden Goforth, a young man I'm really excited about coming in the 2026 class as a freshman. You've got Robbie Martin there, who's a redshirt freshman, who you're probably excited about, an in-state kid. I think you've got enough on the offensive line to at least get you a good core to build around. Your season, your shot. The NFL season is rolling, and every touchdown can bring you closer to a payout with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. From first touchdown scorer to anytime TD props or the thrill of live in-game betting, every snap is loaded with opportunity. New customers, this one is for you. Bet just $5 and get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Plus, score over $200 off NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code COUZ. That's code COUZ to get $200 in bonus bets instantly when you place your first $5 bet. Plus, over $200 off NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort, Kansas. 21 plus age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Fees may apply in Illinois, void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. See sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos. NFL Sunday Ticket offer for new subscribers only and auto renews until canceled. Digital games and commercial use excluded. Restrictions apply. Additional NFL Sunday Ticket terms at youtube.com/go/NFL Sunday Ticket/terms. Limited time offer. Now let's go to the defensive side of the ball. Sophomore Israel Boyce. Sophomore Zay Jennings. Sophomore Curtis Jones, who's been starting or at least playing a ton of snaps at the bandit spot. Nick Taylor, who really showed out in the Utah game as a bright spot on that defense. He's a sophomore. Ben Cutter's a junior. He could be back. Sophomore Keyshawn Robinson has played some snaps. Redshirt junior linebacker Ben Bogle. Redshirt freshman linebacker Ashton Woods out of North Carolina. Freshman Chris Filippo has played some snaps. Redshirt junior Marshawn Oxley, another linebacker or bandit. Redshirt sophomore Corey McIntyre on the defensive front. You've got Nate Gabriel, who's played a lot of ball up front as a sophomore already. Redshirt junior defensive lineman Asani Redwood could come back for next year. So you've got enough to build around there, in my opinion, on both sides of the football. More obviously on offense than defense, but those are good starting pieces. You need to retain most of those players I just listed off. If you can retain all of them, fantastic. Likely not going to happen, though, in this day and age. We know that. But I'm here to tell you, I don't think next year is going to be as bad. Yes, you're going to lose 41 seniors. Ty Edwards, this is the ones that have been big contributors. I'll throw Jamoy Robinson in there too because he likely will get better as the season goes on. Jaden Bray, Jordan Scruggs, Braden Siders, Justin Smith-Brown, Devin Grant, Derek Carter, Jalen Henderson, Jeffrey Weimer, Darian Lewis, Preston Fox, Chase Wilson, Reed Carrico, Walter Youngbear. I mean, let's be honest. Walter Youngbear has struggled a lot this year. Carson Lee, Kimo Makaniole, Tykeus Crawford on the O-line. Again, you could argue those two guys have struggled the most of anybody up front. And Eddie V and Hammond Russell on defense. Can't leave those guys out. Kicker Cade Hensley, I don't know if I mentioned him. But, yes, you're losing a lot of key pieces from that senior class. But you're also bringing back a lot you can build around. And if you can just go out and plug holes in the portal, I think this is going to be a methodical. Yes, he's trying to win now because he wants to make sure the guys from the portal he gets are good and can help win now. But we all know that it's not realistic when you have to bring in that many guys. You're going to miss on a lot of them. It's just the nature of the beast. But with a full offseason to evaluate the portal, whereas last year they didn't have that because Rich Rod wasn't hired until, mid to late December? The portal had already been open for a few days. A lot of guys had already committed to programs, had already started the recruiting process. And heck, he didn't even have it took him even longer than that to put his staff together. So with a full staff, a full offseason, and a full portal cycle, and full portal window to evaluate the guys that are in it, hopefully with a better financial situation as well now that Rich Rod will have been in the seat for a year already, they'll be in a better position to get better players out of the portal than what they got this time. Yes, they got some good guys. They got Jamoy Robinson. They got Michael Coach Jr., some guys they had to spend money on. But they might be able to get more of those guys in the next round of the portal cycle. More guys with P4 experience potentially. So let's not panic just yet. Yes, this is likely going to be a long year, guys. It's likely going to be a long season. West Virginia might win 3 or 4 football games this year. Possibly less. Okay? But we did beat Pitt. Let's remember that. We did beat Pitt. Okay? But I still think there's a light at the end of this tunnel. This is a long-term play here. Rich Rod's not here just to win now. He's here to try to win now and also win in the future. He said he wants to bring West Virginia back to competing for a national championship again. That's not something you can do overnight. The last time he started in 2001, finished 3-8. By the time 2006, 2007 rolled around, he was in the national conversation. It took him 5 or 6 years. It may not be any different. Maybe you can do it in 3 now because of the portal, but you're not going to do it in 1. Not with 80 new players. With the schedule they have to play. So you can throw the Kurt Cignetti thing out there if you want to. That's an anomaly. It's not the norm. There are a lot more examples of times it hasn't happened than when it has. But I wanted to put this notion to bed that West Virginia is going to have to bring in 70, 80 new players again next year because it simply should not be the case. Unless we see a plethora of guys leave that they're not expecting again, you should be able to bring in 40, maybe 50 guys out of the portal at the most. The rest of the roster will be guys that you've either brought in the 25 class or the 30 guys I mentioned who are already on the roster that have experience. And I only listed the guys who have played this year. I didn't even list the guys on the roster who haven't really played any. There are a lot of underclassmen on the roster that I didn't list or talk about because I don't remember ever playing. So you may not even need a full 50 guys. You might only need 30 or 40 guys out of the portal. It's yet to be determined. And with that 105 roster limit, that obviously reduces how many guys you can take anyway. So don't panic. Be patient. Let's try to – I know it's not easy. We're fans. We want to win now. We get frustrated when we see our team struggle. I'm with you. What we saw Saturday It's hard to watch. But I'm keep the faith. I think it's going to get better, okay? Don't panic. We're not going to need 80 players next year. Not going to need 80 players. We've got to put trust in the process and trust in the guys that are in charge of the process and the university as a whole as they try to get their financial house in order to be more competitive in college football. Let me know what you think in the comments section about the future of West Virginia football. Do you think they're going to have to rebuild again in 2026? What are your thoughts on that? What guys that I listed that could come back next year do you think will leave? Do you think any of those guys leave? What are your thoughts on Jaheim White? Do you think he stays around? Do you think West Virginia has the money to pay people like Cam Vaughn? Do you think Nico is leaving the program? What are your thoughts there? I want to hear your thoughts in the comment section. Also, be sure to hit the thumbs up button. Be sure to hit the hype button if you see it below between the download button and the thanks button. It's only available there if you're on a mobile device. I want to take a moment to give a quick shout out to my random VIP member shout outs of this episode. Hellbilly, Appalachia Africa Twin, Big Dan T, Shane V, and Phil LeMasters. Thank you all for your support of the channel. You too can be a paid VIP member, get access to your shout outs, get access to first priority in my live streams in the chat. And if you're a club level member, the $4.99 level member, you also get early access to quite a bit of content as well. You can join by hitting the join button below. If your device doesn't have one, just go over to my channel homepage and you'll see a join button there. It walks you through the process. It's very easy. There's also a link in the description to join as well. Check me out on SWVLE, SWVLE.com. You can follow me over there. Get Couz's Corner content right on your desktop by adding SWVLE as a browser extension on your device. You can get access to my tweets, my YouTube channel, my Instagram posts, all of it right there on your homepage on SWVLE, SWVLE.com. Go there and follow Couz's Corner today. I want to thank you for tuning into this episode. Hope the rest of your day's top shelf. God bless you. And Q Country Roads. West Virginia, Mountain Mama, take me home, country road.